Hi there, everyone, and welcome to APTU. Today, we'll be discussing one way to do custom manufacturing workflows by setting up customized bills of materials right from the sales order. This feature essentially allows a salesperson to make an on-demand work order to the exact specifications of your client's needs. We will be taking any questions at the end, so if you do have a question, feel free to put it into the live chat, and that's available just to the side or just below the video, depending on whether you're watching on YouTube or on advancedprotech.com. And if you want to learn more about Advanced Pro, we have our full archive of APTU videos available on advancedprotech.com under the Resources tab or on our YouTube channel. Now, we do have a lot of other videos on manufacturing, and it is a very flexible feature, so I encourage you to take a look to give yourself a bit more context about how to approach manufacturing in Advanced Pro. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to switch on over into Advanced Pro, and at this point, I should mention that this is for quick on-the-fly custom work. So if you're going to build something out in like a CAD program and export into a CSV, you might want to take a look at our bill of materials importing video. So to begin with, you are going to need kind of a generic assembly item or a base product. And I've built one here that we'll just call custom products. We'll just go into our assembly items. We've got this custom build item, and that's what we're going to be working with today. It's got a fairly straightforward bill of materials. It's got a couple of interesting items on here. So we've just got these three items, one each in our base product. And we have this one that's a variable item, so we can show you how we can make adjustments to variable items as well. We'll just go ahead and close that out. So that's our basic bill of materials that needs to exist. So now as we go in to make a sale, we'll just start a new order. As a salesperson, we'll go ahead and choose the customer that we're going to be working with. We'll go ahead and hit proceed. And at this point, we'll go ahead and get our customizable item onto our sales order. There it is. So we'll add that as a line item. And in here, I've created an editable custom field called item notes. You can call this whatever you like, but this allows just to have a plain English version of the modification for record keeping. So here we might say that we're going to have add-ons, right? So we can go ahead and put in add-ons. You can put in anything you like there. It's just a text field. Now what's going to be really crucial is when we go ahead and save this item, let's go ahead and say we're going to add two of this item. What we can do is we can click into the Bill of Materials button here. And when we open on that up, we get a pop-up that gives us the bill of materials for a single build of this item, okay? And what we can do is, for the variable items, we can actually change the amount that we're going to use. So we could say instead of 1, we're going to use 5 units of this pipe. And now when we create a work order, the work order for this item is going to use 5 units of that pipe per unit being built. In this case, we're building 2 units, so it will use 10. We can also, down here at the bottom, we can add items to the bill of materials that are not on the original bill of materials, but will just be used for this build, and we can actually use any other item in our inventory for this purpose. So I can go and say, we're going to use some half-inch pipe as well. And we're going to go ahead and set that quantity. We can also see the price, so we'll actually be able to see the actual price difference for these add-ons. We'll go ahead and save that. That's going to allow us to quote things out a little bit better here. So now we've got this all set up, but you know what? Maybe we want to go ahead and add in a different customization. So we can actually add the same item again if we enable that. And the bill of materials for that second item, once we save, is actually going to be the original bill of materials. So we can have a regular one. We could actually go and add a second customization profile for this second quantity. We can change the item notes. Meanwhile, this first bill of materials, this is going to stay set. So we can actually get 2 work orders for the same item that are going to have slightly different customizations set up. So I'm going to go ahead and place that order. And it's okay that we don't have stock because we're actually going to build these on demand. This is the process order screen, and if you're not familiar with this, this is essentially saying that we've got some demand, and if we had stock, we can fill from stock, and once we've finished manufacturing, we could come back in and fill from stock. If it was a purchased item, we could create a vendor purchase order and go ahead and purchase those products. But what we're really going to focus on today is we're going to check these off, and we're going to start to create work orders for these products. So this last column here on the right, this will create an instant work order to build these products on demand. And then we could come back in and ship them out later. I'm going to go ahead and process the order. And what we'll see is we'll get a little pop-up that tells us what happened. And we get 2 work orders created. We could click to go directly to them. Or if we come into the manufacturing area, we go to view all our work orders, we're going to see that we have 2 brand new work orders created under that custom build item. And at this point, I can go ahead and open up the individual work orders. So this is going to be our regular work order, and you can see it's just the standard setup because we didn't make any changes to that second line item. So we could go and complete this one. And if we go to the second work order, we'll see that it's actually got our modifications in mind. So it's multiplied out that bill of materials that we set up by 2. So where we had 5, now we have 10. And then 2 of each of the individual parts. And it's going in comparing those to our available stock. And at this point, if we needed to go and purchase anything, such as we do with this item, the 1/2-inch pipe, it'll go and create a vendor order for us automatically so we can go and purchase that. If any of the items are a sub-assembly item that we actually need to build, we've got the WO column, and that will create a work order for the sub-assembly so we can build the required part and then come back and finish this primary finished product. So that's just a kind of a quick tour through customizations from the sales order and how they can impact the work orders. Now, of course, if we were to go and complete one of these, we would then be able to ship out the product. So I would be able to go ahead and hit direct order, process order, and we'll just finalize that order to finish it out. And now if we come back to view all customer orders, and we'll see under our processed orders, we have some orders we can partially fill. So I believe this is our order that we want to go look at. We'll see that we're awaiting some stock, but also we can partially fill that stock now. So we can open that up. It takes us back to the process order screen, and sure enough, you can see that we have one of the custom built items available to be shipped out. So I would just go ahead and process the order, and that would give us a pick ticket, which becomes available in our warehouse department or on AP Mobile. That's just a quick tour of the customizations from the sales order and how that whole process flows from one step to the next. Thank you all for watching. We will be holding for just a moment for any questions. Have a great afternoon.